One of the most incredible ways that dreams can serve your transformation, your healing, your growth is through dream intentions. That is when you go to sleep, and before you go to sleep, you ask your inner dream maker, you can ask your guides, you can ask spirit, you can just sort of ask in general for a dream. You can ask for a dream in general, such as, please show me what I need to know right now, or you can ask for something more specific. So a couple of nights ago, I was listening to Darius Wright, amazing person. If you haven't checked him out, he talks about out-of-body experiences as a controlled near-death experience. I'm not up to that yet. However, I love listening to his descriptions of what it means to be a soul, what it means to go to the other side. What is the other side anyway, right? And so I was listening to him talk, and I was just feeling all of this, I'm going to say intensity, maybe struggle, something like that, where all I was hearing was descriptions of someone else. And I'm like, I want to know for myself. And I'm nowhere near having an out-of-body experience. I'm not even training in that or learning how to do it. So how do you do it? How do you know for yourself? Well, I'm a dreamer, literally and figuratively. And I decided that I would ask my dreams, what is the nature of the soul? No biggie, no biggie, but I figured I'd try. And I woke up a couple of times throughout the night with no dreams, and the intention was so strong that I kept remembering it. Even in the middle of the night, all groggy, I would just be like, please show me the nature. What is the nature of the soul? And finally, around 5 a.m, I woke up from a very intense dream I want to share a little bit of with you, just to show you the fact that your dreams will eventually respond to your questions. You do need to know how to understand them, but it's actually built in. We are wired to understand our dreams. Most of us have just forgotten. This is something that I teach, and this is something that I work with professionally with clients, and understanding and mostly teaching you how to understand your own dreams, because I really want to empower you. I want to bring this back into our psyches, because this is something that we're meant to do as humans. Anyway, let me get to the dream. So there's a few murky details in the beginning that are not important here, although all the dream details are important. But what's important here is the answer to that question of what is the nature of the soul. What happened was I got an experiential answer rather than an intellectual one, rather than a picture, rather than an image. Okay, so what happened was I found myself inside a very convoluted kind of building. There were passageways and stairways and rooms and doors and up and down, and I started becoming preoccupied with getting out. I felt like, oh my God, time is running out. I'm going to have to leave, and I don't know how. I don't know where the exit is. So translation, buildings are your soul, yourself, your being, your body, and the fact that it was convoluted just means I have a very rich, busy inner life, which is true. That wasn't the end of the dream. I'm just kind of giving you little bits of translation as I go. So I become overwhelmed increasingly. I will say too that the building was very interesting on the inside. I was enjoying it. I was seeing different rooms. There were different colors. The passageways were, carpeted in different colors as well, and it wasn't dark and scary. So that's great, right? That's great if that's describing my inner world. At some point, I will say too, there was a guide with me in a dream that usually looks like a friend, and that's what it looked like. In this dream, there was just kind of a friend figure with me, and that's usually a spirit guide. And at some point, I found myself so overwhelmed. And then I see something right in my hands. I'm literally holding my hands out like this, and there's something in my hands. And before I could even figure out what it is, it lifts up out of my hands into the sky. And the only thing I can think of to liken it to is a kite, maybe a parachute, maybe a hot air balloon, something like that, right? Something that lifts up into the sky, that needs air, that moves upward. And I'm holding a string, and it's attached to that object. And the minute I recognize that I'm holding this string, I become lucid. I go lucid. I'm like, oh my God, I am dreaming. I am dreaming right now. The minute I realize that, I go, oh, I can let go. I can let go. And all of a sudden, I'm holding my friend, my guide's hand on my left. I'm holding my mom's hand on the right. And I let go, and I have the most expansive feeling of flying, but I'm not flying through space. I'm just kind of floating. And it was a conscious experience of surrender. I figured I could just let go. I'm dreaming. I'm being taken somewhere. I don't have to control anything. A lot of times when people become lucid, it's because they want to be able to control something. They want to go somewhere. They want to fly. They want to have sex. They want to just do something, right? But this was, I was being shown the nature of the soul, and the nature is expansive. It was as if my body was bigger than my body. Does that make sense? And understandably, because this is something that I am learning to integrate into my being, I got scared. I got scared. The expansion was too much. Most of us get scared in life as well as in dreams when something becomes too expansive, too intense, too powerful, even in a really, really good way. I got scared, and I pulled myself back, and I started trying to wake up as much as I could. That's fine. I will have other opportunities to experience this. But do you see how this dream was actually answering my questions so, so powerfully? I got an experience of, in so many cultures, the cosmology speaks to the soul being attached to the body by a string. And then it was showing me how the string is just a mental construct, really, because there's nothing to attach to anything. We just are a soul. And the other piece that's super important, the fact that I was holding hands on the left side with a guide, on the right side with my mother in the dream. That's my internal mother, my mothering, my grounding, my earthly energy, and then my cosmic energy on the left with my guide. And why this is so important to point out is that we don't heal in isolation. You can have a profound experience on your own, but you need other people to integrate it. You need to be held, you need to be seen through it. And in fact, you need the courage to do it at all, and that comes from inside. But then once you have the courage, then you need to be held as you do it. So tell me how this lands for you. I know this ended up being a little bit of a longer video than I intended. I hope that this answers something deeper in you, not just about the nature of the soul, but the nature of dreams and how powerful they can be in answering your deepest questions as well as your surface questions. No question is too big or too small for dreams. So what question do you want to ask your dreams tonight? I would love to know. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.